Did you notice the secret marker at the end of John Wick, Chapter 2?
You might need this. Down the road.
While the marker is never seen or mentioned again, it should have played a role in John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum. This marker originated in Chapter 2 when Santino revealed that he held a marker from John. After John fulfilled his obligation, Winston forced Santino to honor the marker, officially sealing their deal.
Now he's free of the marker. What do you think he'll do?
Winston then returned the marker to John. However, in Parabellum, the marker never appears again. Only Sophia's marker, which John picks up from the library, is shown. But recently, Reddit user Tempest196 pointed out some intriguing details that may reveal its intended purpose. He suggests that Santino's marker was actually the so-called
the first mark
from Barada. This seems odd at first, but it makes sense when considering that the stand displaying the first marker has the same number as John's marker. According to this theory, John could have offered Barada his marker in exchange for the Elder's location. This would drastically alter the events as originally shown in the movie.
This was for you to learn.
But in some ways it makes sense. However, it raises a major question: why was John's marker considered the oldest?
Not easy to track down, believe me.
One possibility is that John received this marker due to his legendary status in the assassin world. Referred to as
Baba Yaga.
John wasn't just another hitman, he was the hitman, a near-mythical figure whose feats were whispered about in fear. If the High Table or a powerful faction within the underworld saw him as a key figure, they might have honored him with a unique, historically significant marker, one that symbolized something greater than just a simple blood debt.
This is because of me. This, in part, is mine.
Another theory is that John stole the marker. Perhaps in his younger years he took it from someone important, maybe even a High Table member. If this were the case, it could explain why his marker had such historical significance and why it was tied to Barada's collection. Markers are not just symbols of oaths. They are also valuable artifacts within the assassin world. And if John possessed one with deep connections to the High Table, it would explain why it stood out. Santino's involvement also raises more questions. His family, the D'Antonios, had direct ties to the Camorra, a powerful crime syndicate with a seat at the High Table. With such influence, it's possible that Santino did not simply receive John's marker by chance. He could have obtained it through powerful connections. If Santino's marker was truly one of the first, then it was far more significant than anyone realized. It wasn't just a tool to control John. It could have been a key to something much larger within the assassin world. Regardless of whether John's marker was truly the first, or if it was simply referred to that way because of its importance, this revelation only adds to its mystery. If it really was the first marker ever created, then John's connection to it suggests he was tied to the history of the assassin world in ways we still don't fully understand. If it was simply a unique marker with immense symbolic value, then its disappearance becomes even stranger. Why introduce such an important object only to never reference it again? Another intriguing clue comes from Winston's words when he handed John the marker at the end of Chapter 2.
You might need this. Down the road.
At first, it seems like a simple remark, but looking back, it may have been a deliberate hint. If John needed the marker down the road, Winston might have known more than he let on. Given that John later sought out Barada for the Elder's location, this suggests Winston foresaw that the marker could play a role in John's journey to overturn his excommunicado status. If the marker truly had deeper significance, perhaps as the first marker or an artifact of power, Winston, with his deep ties to the High Table, may have understood its true value. This could mean Winston wasn't just returning a marker to John, but guiding him toward an unseen plan.
Best find safe harbor before it starts.
If he knew its history and connection to Barada, it would explain why he ensured John kept it. Whether or not the marker was truly the first, Winston's cryptic words add yet another layer of mystery.